So update 28 is going to have a fair number of feature improvements on top of all of these art improvements that are going in. And actually, the first one I want to bring up is not Zoe's feature. It's a little feature that Matea's been working on. You see this little green circle around my car? It makes it look like it's a little bit of an outpost, but what that actually means is that is the last vehicle that I used. So if you park in a place that's got a lot of dilapidated vehicles, sometimes it can be difficult to use the minimap to find the vehicle that you actually brought. And so now we've got that vehicle showing up with a little extra treatment on the icon, so it's easier to find. So that's something I wanted to highlight, but we're actually here to talk to Zoe about a slightly larger change. Hey there, Zoe. Oh, wait, there's a zombie trying to attack me. Hold on. Go away, zombie. You know, actually what I should do is, while we're talking about this, I should go hang out with this enclave so that we can look at the map, and if I get in trouble with zombies, they can do the fighting for me. They're not in there. Where are they? They're over here, in the post office. I can tell because it's lit up. That's how I can tell. Okay, I'm in here. Let's have a look at the map. So players of this game will remember that usually our map is this sort of neutral pinkish grayish color that sort of indicates that this is an area that's controlled by zombies. And the safe zones we sort of switch into this like lighter gray area, indicating there's not as many zombies here. We don't let them spawn close to your outposts. But now that you look at the map here, there's a little bit more variance in the color. We've got these darker pink areas over here in this area that's pretty infested by zombies. Zoe, do you want to explain what the difference is here? What's going on in these darker pink areas? Did you spill a drink on the map?
Spilled some code on the map. So we've always had mechanically behind the scenes areas where there were extra zombies, kind of larger populations or more dangerous, or sometimes it'll spawn extra freaks or ferals around you, that sort of thing. But we never really exposed them to you to look at and be able to tell this area is dangerous. You were kind of always just forced to assume that because this place has buildings, it's probably a little bit unsafe. So this snap treatment is basically a way to expose that information to you visually and say, areas where there are more zombies, regardless of what kind there are going to be lit up brighter red, so you know what kind of danger you're getting into.
That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of, we've sort of made a little bit of a philosophy shift on the team where, there's a lot of parts of the game where we were trying to sort of simulate things behind the scenes and leave them mysterious to the player so that they never quite know what's going on. And we were imagining, I think early on, that would help, contribute to the sense of surprise and horror and uncertainty. But in the end, I think that it actually, one of the sort of the rules of suspense that people learn about, when they're studying how to make films and things like that, for instance, is the idea that, your audience actually can feel more suspense sometimes when they know more about what's going on, when they understand how the world works. And so, for instance, I actually feel a little bit more intimidated. Like right now I'm driving towards this area that's got all these infestations. I'm a little more intimidated now that I know that this is in a dark, like wine pink area where I'm probably going to run into more zombies than I would otherwise.
And that's not quite the only aspect of this change, which I'm not sure if you want to do things to point this out, or...
Oh, yeah, no, go explain anything you want. I'm just headed down to that area because it's probably the best area to start going and seeing the zombie populations and start fighting with them and messing with them.
So the other half of this is that we've always had some mechanics to adjust the number of zombies that will be in an area once you've done a little bit of zombie killing there, but we've never codified them and we've never shown them off to the player. But now we do. I've made some adjustments to balance and allowed you as a player to be able to clear out temporarily, but for a while, an area that was perhaps previously full of zombies and make it a little bit more safe, almost like a safe zone that you worked to create.
So I'm in here looking for the screamers. I'm hoping that I can clear out a few zombies from this area. There we are.
You may need to clear out a bunch of zombies. It's still no cakewalk.
Yeah, so players should definitely, not expect that, I'm going to be able just to kill a few zombies here and see a dramatic effect. But, there are players who get into very, very big fights sometimes. And once you've actually killed tons and tons of zombies in an area, you should actually be able to see your efforts making an impact on the world around you. So we're going to kill a bunch of zombies. We're probably, like I said, it's probably going to be a subtle effect. We shouldn't expect it to be a ton. But once I've actually killed these zombies and put an end to this infestation, which, I don't know, is it ever going to happen? Unfortunately, because I decided to use explosives in the nightmare zone, because I'm an idiot, I'm just attracting more and more zombies. But maybe that'll help, because having more zombies to kill would mean, oh no, I didn't bring any heals. I'm going to be in trouble, actually. This is a very bad plan. This might be one of those sessions where you all get to see me die.
Those are all the best sessions, Geoffrey.
Yeah, probably is. Okay.
That's what you're talking about.
So
the closer you get to it, the more we want it.
Yeah. Oh, my character's so tired right now. Okay, so I've killed a bunch of
just
zombies
a double.
here. Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
to double check, Zoe. This will also be active on current communities, right? People won't have to change the map in order to see this.
No. You big dumb jerk. Okay. So yeah, so I've killed a fair number of zombies around here. We can't quite see a huge impact. I think it does look a little bit lighter here, but it's really subtle. Especially because we're sitting here in the nightmare zone. There's a pretty high standard for how much damage I've got to do to these zombies before, like, it feels like spawning. The spawning of the zombies has really receded. But
and Zoe, you had mentioned that you had been sort of just surfacing systems that were already there. So is the impact is the impact of like killing zombies, is that going to be permanent? How long does that take to wear off, et cetera, et cetera?
It's a little bit tuned based on difficulty, because I didn't want to take away from the masochistic tendencies of our most fearless players. But for most difficulties, you'll see this last for hours versus like the half an hour at most minutes that clearing a safe zone around an outpost would normally last. And it'll persist across your save games as well. So you can come back and after clearing out a place and it'll still be cleared.
Yeah, that's actually that's a pretty big change, actually, because it used to be that basically you'd leave the game and come back, and basically all the zombies are like starting at square one again. Whereas now all that information is going to persist, and and you can sort of like make a difference in an area and have that difference continue to matter, which is really cool.
And hopefully that also answers Sunny Games' question, which was how does this affect the higher difficulties? Basically, what I heard is that the higher the difficulty, the smaller the safe zone is, or the safe time.
And the longer it takes to get there.
So you have to do more work to reduce the population in an area, and then it doesn't stay low for as long compared to the lower difficulties. That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, so La Coalition was asking if the impact is going to be permanent, and no, it will eventually trickle back in, but depending on what difficulty you're playing at, the rate is gonna change. By the way, go ahead.
Also, still lots of love for the changes for the fog, and as people catch up on the rest of the video. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, folks are just there's folks who are just joining us who are noticing how different the atmosphere is. So the folks in Valkyrie in the background should still feel good about the positive reception that they're getting for their work. I should also point out, by the way, that by sheer luck, as I was rolling up this community that we was going to use to demonstrate these features, I happened to get a character who's named after Brian Menard. This is No Breaks Menard over here. So he's the leader of my community. And I just wanted to point that out because I thought Brian would find that amusing, that out of sheer luck, I managed to get his character. So we're getting weird questions in the chat now. Bokavar wants to know, will we get to know what the plague walls taste like? There's some radio chatter about people eating them, LOL. So I don't think Tressie was talking about people actually eating the plague hearts. I thought she was talking about just growing food around them, or you know what? I'm not going to hazard a guess what was going on in that map.
The longest pig.
Yo, yikes.
Cool. Well,
Ugh.
yeah. Well, thank you for giving us a tour of this, Zoe. I'm really interested in seeing what players think of it as they sort of run around and get into some of the massive conflagrations with zombies that they get into sometimes. Seeing the effects on the map and getting feedback from them, especially in the public test realm, about how that feels and how it's balanced, so that we can keep tuning it and respond to that feedback.